Welcome to the 97 Republic YouTube channel, where I react to UFC news and live events. So I kindly ask that you hit the like button and the subscribe button, as that would really help this channel grow. And to ensure that you don't skip a beat, feel free to click the notification bell as well. That way you can ensure that you don't miss any of the action. I really hope you enjoy this one. Ranking the top 5 knockouts from fighters competing on the main card of UFC Fight Night Kape versus Almabayev. So basically taking every fighter on the main card, taking their best knockout and then matching them up against one another to see who comes out on top. So basically starting this list at number 5, Haqparast versus Silva, August 3rd, 2019. After winning 2 consecutive fights, Haqparast faced Silva and in the second round managed to land a devastating overhand left, the very same technique he would use against Jamie Mullarkey 4 years later, and by knocking out Silva in the second round, granted Haqparast a performance of the night bonus, basically warranting him a number 5 spot on this list. Then at number 4, Amil versus Lee. After beating Emrah Sormiz on Dana White's Contender Series, Amil received a UFC contract, and then in his UFC debut went on to fight Fernie Garcia and got the TKO victory over Garcia. In his second fight inside of the UFC, Amil faced Lee, and in the first round, what happened to transpire was absolute madness, where it looked like 2 single fathers that are drunk fighting in a brothel over who gets the last hour. Hooks flying everywhere like you're on a fishing trip with all of your mates. Absolute chaos. And basically reminiscent of a particular fight not long ago, Don Fry versus Yoshiri Takayama. It was a masterpiece. The absolute carnage. And in the first round, Amil was able to somewhat knock out Lee, didn't even flatten him. But it was clear to see Lee was out on his feet and just blocking every single punch with his face. Incredible spectacle. That's why Amil versus Lee is at number 4. Then at number 3, Manel Kape versus Osbourne. 2021 started off rough for Manel Kape, making his UFC debut against Alexandre Pantoja. Yes, you heard that correctly, making his debut against Alexandre Pantoja. Now sure, it wasn't the same Pantoja that we have right now, but still a perennial top flyweight at the time. And then losing to Pantoja, only to go on to his second fight against Matthias Nicolai in the same year, went on to lose as well. But then it somewhat changed for Manel Kape, trying to make amends, trying to rectify all of the wrongs of 2021. Manel Kape fought Osbourne on August 7, 2021 and ended up force-feeding Osbourne a knee. A devastating, nasty, flying knee to knock out Osbourne, and every time I see it, I think of him. And I see him and basically just sit back and stare in admiration. So that is why Osbourne versus Manel Kape, Manel Kape getting the flying knee TKO over Osbourne, is warranted at the number 3 spot. Then moving on to number 2 on the list, Esteban Ribovics versus Terrence Mckinney. After winning on Dana White's Contender Series, Esteban Ribovics made his debut inside of the UFC and lost. After getting taken down 11 times, that is 12 times more than Khabib got taken down for the entirety of his UFC career. But Esteban managed to make amends in his second UFC fight, went on to win Commonwealth Kirk, and then in his third fight, he fought Terrence Mckinney. Now, do somewhat feel bad for Terrence Mckinney, seeing that the guy is an absolute Donnie, but he has been on the receiving end of some ungodly knockouts, and this is no different. In 37 seconds of the very first round, Esteban Ribovics, who is predominantly considered to be a boxer, delivered a high kick to Terence Mckinney that ended up sending him to Mars to go speak to the Rover. And what made this incredible, apart from the fact that Mckinney was knocked out cold, it was due to the fact that it looked like Mckinney went and took a seat. The way he fell back with his back to the fence, and the way that he is perfectly postured, as if though he was taking a seat and saying, I need a break from all of this. Absolutely iconic. However, did mention previously, big Mckinney fan, has been on the receiving end of some of these things. And that's why Esteban Ribovics versus Terence Mckinney is ranked at number 2. Then at number 1, we have Cody Brundage versus Zachary Reese. Now the reason it's number 1 on the list, it's not because it's as devastating as Esteban Ribovics' knockout, but due to the fact that it is as cinematic as it could possibly get within the UFC, because you think you only see this in movies like Never Back Down or Warrior, but then it happens right in front of your very eyes. So Cody Brundage, after getting a victory over Jacob Malkoun via disqualification, one of the weirdest victories you would probably ever see in your life, where Jacob Malkoun got disqualified because he landed a forearm blow to the back of Cody Brundage's head and basically warranted Cody Brundage a disqualification victory, went on to fight Zachary Reese, tried to extend his winning streak to 2, and then basically in the fight got caught in a potential arm triangle. And how did Cody Brundage try to solve this problem? He tried to pick up Zachary Reese, ended up doing so, slammed him on the ground, knocking him out instantaneously, and then just to rub salt in the wounds of Zachary Reese, did the super necessary and landed a couple of extra shots just to put the caveat on top. And that is why Cody Brundage and his slam knockout over Zachary Reese is number 1 on this list. Now let me know in the comment section, do you think that this list is correct? Would you change the order? Is Cody Brundage warranted to be at the number 1 spot? Let me know, I'd really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.